Good evening. Okay, thank you. All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Adem Bria. I'm the Chair of the License and Permits Committee. I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6:03 PM on April 5th. If we could go to the next slide, please. All right, I'm just going to go over some ground rules. Number one, no one may speak until granted the floor. Two, CB11 members, if you have a question about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand through Zoom. If you click the participants icon, the participants panel should appear and you should find the raise hand function there. If you still have technical difficulty, you may click the chat icon and relay your difficulty to the staff. Next slide, please. Three, the chat function should not be used for CB11 business or questions about agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record by raising your hand through Zoom. Chat should only be used to alert us to any technical difficulties you are having or to state in writing information like an email address that was already stated aloud on the record during the meeting. Four, please keep your questions and comments succinct and germane to the discussion. Number five, members of the public, if you have a question or comment about the subjects on the agenda, please raise your hand through Zoom and wait to be recognized. Okay, with that said, then I'm going to, I guess, now call the meeting to order at 6:04. And Khalid, if you could take the roll, please.
You got it. Give me 1 second, please.
Take your time.
Okay, members, just to reiterate that there are 8 total committee members. Adem Briha.
Here.
Thank you. Carlos Diaz.
Here.
Thank you. Rosa Diaz.
Here, present.
Thank you. Angela Donadell. Judith Ferbraro.
I'm here.
Thank you. Wanda Hopkins. Eugene Rodriguez.
Here.
Thank you. Jordan Wright. Okay, you have 5 members total, Chair. You have quorum.
Okay, thank you. Then with that, why is my screen showing this? Okay, never mind, got it. So then I am going to adopt the agenda for this month if I don't see any objections. All right, seeing no objections, then we'll adopt this month's agenda. And then for the March committee minutes, I will adopt those as well if I don't see any objections. And seeing no objections, then the March committee minutes are adopted as well. Next slide, please. Okay, announcement, Mayor Adams issued emergency executive order 339, which extends the emergency declaration for 30 days through April 20, 2023. For anyone who doesn't know, that just means we continue to meet, not in person. Next slide, please. Okay, informational updates, none that I'm aware of. So next slide, please. All right, so I'm gonna go, if it's okay with everybody, I'm gonna go a little bit out of order here. This is number one, but Angel is going to be joining us to also speak about this item number one. And I just texted him. He's going to need a few minutes. So if it's okay, what we'll do is we'll go to item 2. And then as soon as Angel joins, we will go back to item 1 and then just continue from there. All right. So with that said, then we're going to go to number 2. And that's Antwerp J LLC doing business as Bar Guyana. It's a method of operation change for a full liquor license for a restaurant located at 177 East 100th Street on Lexington Avenue. I believe, if I'm correct, this applicant was here last month and we asked them to come back for this method of operation change. Is the applicant on?
If the applicant can raise their hand through Zoom, I don't know. Okay, let's see. Jordan, I'm sorry, Johan. Okay, give me 1 second.
Can you feel Papa Tanaliga sound?
Hello, Johan. You're unmuted and we can hear you.
Yeah.
All right,
Hello.
Johan, just hello.
Hi, no, this is Karen Monteros with Legends Hospitality. My Zoom didn't work, so I had to jump off and put on the phone.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, Johan, the floor is yours. Just tell us about your method of operation change and anything else you'd like to share, and then we'll see if the committee has any questions or anybody from the public.
Can you repeat it because the internet was not really well here?
Yeah, just share a little bit of, just tell us why you're here tonight. What's the method of operation change? A little bit about your business. I know you were here last month, I believe, but we have different people from the public, so just give us a little bit of an overview.
So basically, once in a while, we want to organize a few events where we're gonna have some live music, and mainly in the summer, we got a lot of private parties that sometimes request some music. We will follow all the guidelines of the city that we're not gonna make loud music after 10 p.m. We haven't had any problems in the past with our neighbors that live above us, where there's a lot of residential apartments. So yeah.
Okay, I think I was told that you didn't submit the questionnaire again this month. Is that correct?
I did. We sent it actually 2 days ago.
Okay, I'm gonna look, because as far as I was told today, it isn't, but I'm gonna look in the Airtable. In the meantime, does anybody from the committee have any questions, comments, or anyone from the public? Rosa?
Hi, good evening. I do have a comment. I actually want to applaud his restaurant. I've been there a couple of times. It's a beautiful place to me. The environment is amazing. Thank you.
Adem,
Yeah, go ahead, Judith.
I have a question here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Okay, no, I don't know, then maybe that was, I got an email saying that it wasn't submitted, so.
well,
me
maybe it was submitted late as everything, you know.
So you have their questionnaire, right? Okay, that's
Well,
fine.
yeah, it says questionnaire, and I have the stipulation also. And
Okay.
the only thing is on the 30-day notice where they printed on top, adding live music, DJ, and happy hour, which of course should have been on the bottom. They should have added it, but it is added on the stipulation.
Okay, and is it on the 30-day notice you're saying, but just in the wrong place?
It's right on the top. They wrote it on
Okay,
top. It's not in the boxes. where
Okay,
it
but
should
it,
be.
got you, but it's there. Okay,
It's on the stipulation.
okay. Do we have any other questions, comments? And if not, then I'll also entertain a motion. Carlos? You're muted, Carlos.
You said it's a new place. Is it soundproof? Is you're gonna have some music?
That'll be the applicant. That's the question to you. Is your establishment soundproof? Johan?
Yeah. So we sent it pictures for soundproof as well.
Okay, so it is soundproof.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, Carlos?
No, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. Angela, I saw your hand, and then Eugene, I saw your hand, but it went down. Now I see no hands. Maybe that was the same question from everybody.
On the stipulation, it says on number 7, where it says, I will install soundproofing, they wrote, we have it already.
Right, and that's what they're saying, that they provided proof that they have it. Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Judith. Thank you,
All right.
Carlos. Thank you. Angela, I see your hand up again now. Go ahead.
Can they explain what type of soundproofing they already have? Because that's been a bone of contention in some other meetings. Did they just put up like a piece of foam and they say it's, or did they actually have somebody professionally come in to soundproof it?
Johan?
No, it's been professionally done before. We explained last month that we did it, and they asked us for proof, and we just sent the proof. So it's been done when we actually did the construction of the bar.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, do we have any other questions then? And if not, then I will also entertain a motion.
I make a
Rosa?
motion to approve, Chair. I'm sorry.
Oh,
My hand-
okay,
Put my
All right.
hand up.
that's
I'm-
fine.
I'm motion-
Carlos, go ahead. If Rosa wants to second it. Carlos, go ahead and make the motion.
I make a motion to support the restaurant.
Okay, so Carlos, you're making a motion to support their method of operation
operation,
application.
yes.
And Rosa, is that a second?
I would like to second it, please. Thank
All
you.
right, so there's a motion to support from Carlos and is seconded by Rosa. Khalid, if you could take the roll, please.
I can, members. Please give me 1 second so I can access your names again, okay?
Take your time.
Okay, so Angela, I see that you're now present with us. Just want to double check to make sure we have any other members that are here. Okay, so with Angela being here, that brings our total to 6. So 4 votes are needed in order for a motion to pass. Just, clarity, okay? Adem Brija,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes.
Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Judith Ferbraro.
Yep, I'm here.
Your vote, Judith.
Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you. Eugene Rodriguez.
I thought, yep, meant yes.
Eugene Rodriguez.
Yes.
I think you
Okay.
skipped me, Khalid.
Rosa, I'm sorry. I thought I called you. Rosa Diaz.
Yes, please.
Okay. Chair, it's unanimous. The motion carries.
Thank you. All right, Johan, thank you for coming again and good luck. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So I think Angel has joined us. If we could get back to the other screen. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. And we're gonna go back to number 1 now because Angel's on here. All right, great. So now we are gonna go to number 1. It's 2312 Drexel Corp. doing business as Room 112 Bar and Lighthouse Fish Market. Renewal and alteration application for a full liquor license for a restaurant located at 508-510 East 117th Street. And this is on Pleasant Avenue. All right, so before I give the floor to the applicant or take any questions, I've asked Angel to come on and just provide some context regarding this applicant. And so with that said, Angel, the floor is yours. Thank you for coming.
Sure. Happy to help in any way I can. So Adem asked me to, as he explained, jump on tonight's call to give some context and a bit of the history with regards to this premise and the previous times that the committee has entertained applications regarding this establishment. So in 2019, I believe, the committee and then the board reviewed an application submitted by the owner for a full liquor license to operate a restaurant located at 508-510 East 117th Street. That application was approved. In the intervening time, we began to receive calls from neighbors of the establishment expressing concerns about, some quality of life concerns, mostly related around noise from some of the patrons of the establishment. Subsequently, in 2022, the board received a notice with regards to the owner's intention to apply for a method of operation to begin doing a couple of to add a couple of offerings to what they were already having available at their establishment. It was at that time that it became clearer to us as a board that what we initially thought was going to be just a restaurant had indeed come to include not just the restaurant with the Lighthouse Fish Market, but also something that came to be known as Room 112, which is a bar lounge on the easternmost property adjacent to the East River Plaza shopping mall. And it was to that particular part of the premises that the complaints from the neighbors of the establishment were pointing. This was came to be seen as, came to be understood to be a bar lounge that was operating late into the evening. It was operating as a club with very loud music, a lot of loud, patrons to the establishment, double parking and so forth. And we started fielding, an increasing amount of quality of life calls related to this premises. So get the correct month in 1 second. In April of 2022, the board issued a resolution, detailed resolution to the SLA, expressing its opposition to the method of operation change, which sought to add employee dancing and third-party promoters to the method of operation to include DJ, recorded music, karaoke, live music, patron dancing, and security personnel. The board also asked to restrict the on-premise liquor license serial number 1325459 for use at the restaurant located on the premises on 117th Street as initially presented to the board in September of 2019. Thirdly, the board asked the SLA to revise the hours of operation for the premises Sunday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. And lastly, and fourthly, that we asked the SLA to revoke the additional bar license serial number 1325460. And now the applicant is before the committee again, seeking two actions. One, to renew their license, serial number 1325459, and secondly, to alter their license to add 5 tables and 15 chairs to what they're describing as the mezzanine in the room 112 portion of their establishment.
Thank you, Angel.
You're welcome.
All right, so Angel, if you don't mind staying on, just in case anyone has
Sure.
questions for you, but before I entertain any questions or anything, now I'm going to see if the applicant is on or a representative from the applicant. The floor is yours. Introduce yourselves, tell us about your business, tell us about what you're requesting here tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Adam Powell, as most of you know. I represent the applicant here in its application to renew and to add the mezzanine level. I listened to Angel, and honestly, most of what he said is true or was true. This establishment, by the way, is at 508 East 117th Street, right across the street from Applebee's. But the method of operation has changed, has morphed. It used to be, like Angel was referring to, sort of a bar, lounge type of place. The hours, although the applicant has the establishment was permitted to 4 a.m., he really closes at 11 p.m. He started doing that last year, October, September, November, sometimes 6-7 months ago. So 11 p.m. for the restaurant portion, actually for the entire place, 11 p.m. and 12 midnight, sometimes 1 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. So he has done that voluntarily. That's been going on for months now. The place is permitted for the things that Angel was referring to. And again, we're seeking to renew the mezzanine, to renew the license. The alteration, it's relatively simple. In the bar 112 side of it, and by the way, they both connect in the bar, in the back, sorry. That's why it's one license with one additional bar, but they both connect in the bar, so it's one location. The mezzanine is actually literally up some steps, and it's just a mezzanine. I didn't measure, but I've seen it. It must be about 20 feet long, maybe 10, 12 feet wide. And it has that 5 tables and 15 seats, and that's what we like to change, and that's the alteration. Any questions or comments, I'll be happy to.
Okay.
The owner, Mr. Michael Clopton, is here with us. He was having issues listening to the audio. I don't know if he can listen to it now, but anyhow, I hope you guys can see me. I know you listen to me because I can't really see anybody here tonight on the Zoom. I just see the agenda.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Angel, I'm gonna ask you a question first, and then I have a question for Adam. Angel,
Sure.
so you said when you were telling us the whole thing, you mentioned that there were two licenses, right? The one we approved for Lighthouse Fish Market, and then the second license that we asked SLA to revoke. My question here is, the license that we approved, the one that they're looking to renew tonight, 1325459, is this license though tied into room 112? Because that's in a different premises and they got an additional bar there so they could have a bar there. So now I'm just confused as how this renewal now is covering both of these locations.
So I can answer for what was presented to us initially. What was presented to us initially was for the Lighthouse Fish Market, the restaurant. That's how we understood that the license to be granted would be applying to that establishment. Subsequently, we came to learn that there was a second portion to the premises and an additional license. I think the second part, the second part of your question can and should be responded to by the license holder and/or their representative.
Okay, thank you. So then Adam or Mr. Clapton,
Yes.
this
Okay,
license. So I'm just gonna so the
Two
committee.
parts. Sure.
Yeah, and I have one other question, so I'm gonna
Okay.
just try to ask you all at once, and if I have to repeat it, that's fine. Just so you can understand the context here. So the issue here is a license that we approved for one business is now being lumped in with a business that we've never approved. So I'm confused, as maybe some other people are, does this one license number now covering both of these establishments? Because it is two
Yes.
places. Okay,
Well, it's two places, it's two entrances on 117th Street, but it's really one place.
well, it's two
inside the
DBAs
back.
too.
Yeah, that is true, which you're allowed, but it's really one place in the sense that they connect, and it's all one big place in the back. So the two entrances, if you're facing it, on the right side is 508, which would be the Lighthouse seafood place. There's no bar there at the very entrance. It's just the food. The bar is all the way in the back. But let me come back outside. If you're looking at the left side, the left entrance, which is bar 112, 510 East 117th. When you walk in, there is a bar, and it's a lounge type of place. Although they're again primarily catering to birthdays and more food oriented than liquor oriented. That's why they curtail the hours. So the first bar is as soon as you walk in, nice bar, by the way, with a huge flat screen. And if you go all the way in the back where the tables are, people are eating there, even lunch, early dinner, whatever. In the back, there's the other bar, which again connects to the Lighthouse Seafood Restaurant.
Okay, for now, I only have one other question, then I'm gonna give other people opportunity. Why then do the documents we have, or we're still requesting 4 AM closure if they're closing at 11 and 1 o'clock? Why are they asking for 4 AM 7 days a week?
Well, I mean, they have the 4 AM, they were licensed that way, and they don't necessarily want to, curtail that if need be, but they're willing to negotiate. Again,
Well,
they're
but they knew
they're
the board's
closing at 1.
position on the hours before they even came here. As Angel said, we had already asked for these hours to be changed. So it's not really a negotiation. We told them what we were comfortable with, and they're still asking for something else.
Understood. They are closing at 11 PM, even the bar, the lounge, except Friday and Saturdays at 1 AM. It is an opportunity if somebody comes in, and by the way, they usually, if you're not inside by 11 PM, they try not to even let you in. So the 1 AM is just for people who are inside having a birthday party, what have you. And they just want to have the opportunity, if it goes over to 1:30, 1:45, not to have an issue at 2:30, but they're not operating till 4 AM. They have not done that since October, November last year.
Okay, thank you. So now I'm going to take questions from the committee, and then there were 5311, so we will see if there's questions from the public after that. Judith, the floor is yours.
Hi, yeah. Well, it seems like they're having this live music, patron dancing, disc jockey. And that's gonna be till 11 PM. I honestly, I don't think so, but that's just my opinion. And you do have, it is here on both the questionnaire and the stipulation to 4 AM. And if that's not the case, then as far as I'm concerned, that has to be changed. It does say there's going to be security personnel, but 11 PM, I don't know. Adam, I know you a long time, but I don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It sounds
Judith, with
more
all
like.
due respect, they started that a few months ago, Judith. They started that a few months ago. And again, they don't close the door at 11. When people are inside, they let them stay 11:30, 12:30, but 11 PM is sort of like the cutoff to come inside.
Then those two documents where it says 4 AM has to be changed. It's just my opinion. There's other people on the board, so let them speak if they want, on the committee rather.
All right, Judith, if you have questions, we'll come back to you. Angela, the floor is yours.
I'm in agreement with Judith. First off, you can't even possess yourself to think you should be open till 4 AM on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because children live. And I remember how many complaints we had the last time we came. That's in 4 AM. No one needs to be out there at 4 AM. Plus, have they fixed the things? Because it seemed that the parking and people were like roping it off like it was like we was downtown and it was a new show, and they had the lines and people taking pictures. That brings elements of things that we don't need, but there are still children in that neighborhood. So I wouldn't want anything open till no later than 2, period. And definitely not Sunday through Thursday. Sunday through Thursday, they need to be closed by 11. And that should be on the step. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
And also there's a big apartment building right across the street, isn't there?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people that live there. I mean, it's not just, the Costco or whatever. I mean.
Understood. And not to be repetitive, but again, they are closing very early and they've been doing that for 5-6 months now.
Okay, Angela, is your hand still up? Or?
Well, I'll answer one more time. And that's fine that they're closing at 11 and they should continue to do so, but we need to have it in writing. It needs to be on the step. And that it's not going to stay open past 2 AM.
Yeah.
Period. So if somebody's having a birthday party on a Thursday, they need to be gone by 11. And on Friday, they can stay till 2.
And Adam, you said they made, when you say a few months ago, what changes were made a few months ago as opposed to what was going on, say, prior than a few months ago? Like, what's been that change?
The hours, they were open until 3-4 in the morning. They changed the whole format from a club lounge to more of a food-oriented restaurant. Yes, they're a lounge, Friday and Saturdays because of the ambiance and what have you, but they're closing at 1 AM Fridays and Saturdays and 11 PM for the most part, Sunday through Thursday.
And so
it is a bar, it is a lounge.
And when you say, just because I like to try, you don't have to give me exact date. When you say this method, I guess, of how they conduct their business.
Yes.
And also you said like it's shifted from, say, more of a nightclub-ish type place. When would you say those changes were in effect? Like, if you could give me a month, or was it December 22? Was it
before? I'd say October, because I live there. I live on Pleasant 118th, a block away. I think it was October, but Michael, if you are listening, if you can hear, can you add to this? Hello? Yeah, he's on the call. He just said he had issues listening, but it was around October. I don't know the exact date.
Yes.
There you go. Michael is on the line.
I believe it was October.
Okay. I only ask because when the board gave their position on how they felt about all this, I believe, and Angel, correct me if I'm wrong, it was in April, last April. So then why was the board's, I guess, I mean, I understand things can't change in a week or 2 weeks in a month, but we're talking about October to April, that things were still going on, I guess, at least that the way the board had asked that they not be done. And look, I mean, I'm all for the business, and I'm only going to speak as myself. My issue, again, and it does come back on me as the chair of the committee more than anybody else. It does. And I'm going to just say that when this got approved the first time and this committee was misled, that we thought we were voting only on one business, and then it turns out they get a license for another business. That did not go well for this committee. And now we are being asked tonight to grant a renewal to a business that one business we did approve, the Lighthouse Fish Market, no issues. But now room 12 is being put into something, room 112. We're being asked to renew a business that we never were given a fair shot to evaluate and vote on in the first place. And that is my issue. And that is my issue as the chair of this committee and as the chair of the committee when this application came the first time around. And that's still, it's hard to get around that. And at least in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I understand. And with all due respect, it's difficult for me to get around it because I was not there.
I know that. I know
a couple of days ago, but they did submit all the necessary requirements to the community board and to the state liquor authority. They didn't get this license from nowhere. It was a license.
Oh, no, I'm not. I know that they submitted everything to the state liquor authority. That I will not dispute that. I'm just talking about what was presented to this board. I won't speak for SLA. And as far as I know, they did give them everything they needed. That's why they got a second license that we never even knew about. So I know that they did that. I don't know if it was an oversight or what it was, but it didn't look good for us. This committee, we had backlash for that. And there were members on here. I think there might be new members too. But there are some members on here that do remember that. I'm not the only one. And I also understand, Adam, that you were not the representative. I didn't know you were the representative till tonight. There was a different representative at that time.
Yeah, I just came on board recently, and
that is for the record. That is understood as well. I'm not gonna. I said my piece, and my piece is a committee member. If there are no other questions, I offered questions to the public, but I am not seeing hands. I'm going to extend that one more time. Okay, I do see a hand in the attendees. I'm going to get to you, but first, Angel, I see your hand just went up. So Angel, and then I'm going to call on the hand I see in the attendees.
Thanks, Adam. I'm just asking, given a couple of the comments that were mentioned earlier by Mr. Powell with regards to the evenings that the establishment is now closing earlier, and comments from a committee member in regards to 2 o'clock. Would the applicant consider memorializing those earlier hours in an updated stipulation for the non-weekend dates of closing no later than, stopping service no later than 2 a.m. on those quote earlier evenings and retaining the 4 o'clock on the weekend evenings? Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Angel. And now we have a hand in the attendees.
Can I get, I'm sorry, then can I get an answer from the?
It was a question. All right, so Adam or Mr. Clopton,
Yeah,
can you respond to Angel's question?
yes, I cannot, in all fairness, make that commitment. Only the owner, and this is honestly news to us, didn't know that, this would be brought up. So I'm sure the owner wants to, give it some thought.
But no, that's the thing. It shouldn't be news coming from this committee. This board said that we had a problem with the hours a year ago. So it's news to you, I understand, but it should not be news unless it's a new owner. If it's not the same owner it was in April of last year, then it's news to them. If it's the same owner, then I think this committee deserves that answer tonight and not at a later time. But that's my opinion. Again, just speaking, if anybody as a committee member. There is a hand, Angel. Mr. Clopton, you're here, right? He's on. If he wants to commit to that tonight, the question is on the table. Or if he needs time to think about it, he can answer it a little bit later and we'll go to another question. But I think an answer to that question should be given tonight. Okay, there's a hand in the attendees. The floor is yours. You just have to unmute yourself and you can speak.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I live in this neighborhood. I was one of the people in the neighborhood that was complaining. And what the attorney just said, I have video. This year of the club being open, February, April 26th, April 25th, 2022, April 24th, 2022, April 2022, April 17th, April 12th. I could keep going. I have plenty of videos. I've also sent out videos because my kids are scared. This is ridiculous. Just this weekend, my daughter ran from her room to my room because they were making noise outside once they closed the restaurant. This place is not this neighborhood. I don't even know why it's here. It does not fit. It does not fit. It's like a puzzle and they trying to force the piece in, and that piece does not fit in this neighborhood. I see people leaving the building right by the barbershop. I have friends that are moving out because of this new establishment. And I don't understand. You call 311, they cancel the ticket and they tell you they don't see nothing, but I have it on video. So I think I'm going crazy.
No,
With all due respect, a lot of those dates were in April of 2022.
well, that's going to be my question.
Hold up, I have more. I even have February, and I have this weekend too, when they closed and they were making mad noise. People dancing in the street, people parking. Now they put bars so people can't park on the right-hand side of the building. What do? They go right between those plastic bars and they park. I also have pictures of that. Then they leave their car radios on and they dancing until they get in. And then when they leave, they stay right there and they still party in the street.
And
this
so,
ridiculous.
Sorry, no, the floor is yours, but question. So you're saying that you've seen that as recently as this month or within the last few weeks? You're saying?
Yeah, just this weekend.
Okay.
It was about 1:45. I have video and I sent video. I'm crying for help. I have 3 kids.
Understood. We appreciate you being here and speaking. And if you have anything else to say, we can come back to you, but I do see another hand in the attendees. So you feel free to mute yourself and speak as well. Are you able to unmute yourself? If you're on a phone, is it *9 when you're on a phone? Or
Yeah.
*9? If you're on a phone, you got to do *9 to unmute yourself. If you're on Zoom, just go to the bottom left and there should be a red line. If you click it, it'll go off and you should be able to speak. Okay, well.
No, *6.
Is it *6?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're on a phone, it's *6 to unmute yourself. All right, well, if you can figure that out and unmute yourself, we will entertain your question or comment. In the meantime, why am I seeing 2 hands now? Okay, now, no, none. All right. I don't see any other hands up at the moment. Is there anything else that anybody in the committee would like to ask? Any comments, any questions, or anyone from the public? But I'm not seeing hands right now. So if
I have a question. My hand was raised.
Yes, we couldn't hear you, but the floor is yours now.
Good evening. My name is Stacy Thomas. I understand what the young lady was saying. My question is, if they change the times and when they have people come and leave, then I feel that, you should be able to grant this establishment what is requesting if the times are changed. And I know I hear a lot of noise outside with people with cars and music also, right where I exactly am located at. It has nothing to do with one or two of the restaurants that is right near my home.
Okay, thank you. Angel?
Thanks, Adam. I was just following up on Miriam's comments to ask, Mr. Clopton or Mr. Powell to respond to what Miriam had submitted, and do you acknowledge that that's happening? Do you disagree that that's happening? Because she mentioned 1 something in the morning, which would still be within your operating hours, but is still as she describes it, quite the disturbance to the neighbors. And while it's not subject to the license, it may be related to the patrons of your establishment, and what, if any, responsibility do you acknowledge that, and what, if any, responsibility do you feel that you have for ensuring that you're being good neighbors and ensuring that your patrons are helping you to be a good neighbor to the folks that reside on the block where you're operating your business?
Yeah, definitely. It is our intention to be good neighbors, and that's why the changes were made several months ago. If there has been a night or two where they have been open past 1 a.m., it's the exception, not the rule. Literally a few months ago, going back to October, that's 6 months now, they curtail their hours to 11 p.m. during the week and 1 a.m. Friday and Saturdays to at least walk into the location. Once you're inside, if you're inside 11:05, they'll let you stay till 12:01. And if you're inside at 1 a.m., you can stay till 2, whatever. But again, they've done a tremendous effort to work with the community and curtail the hours. And curtail the problems that come with the long hours. I dare say this is not the same eyesore than it was a year ago. I know the complaints have certainly been reduced, the noise complaints and all the 311s.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I see Carlos, then Angela, and then Peggy.
Adam, it's great that you represent.
Carlos, just
Sorry.
1 second. And then, so I'm gonna go Carlos, Angela, and then Peggy, you're in the public. If you wanna ask a question, I see you put that in the chat. You will go
Adele,
after-
all I wanted to let you know was that Peggy was asking. That's
Okay,
why I
so
raised
then,
my hand, so
got
I
it.
have
So-
nothing.
all right, thank you. So Carlos, then Peggy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Adam, can we have the owner talk about, the establishment, maybe answer some other questions? I know that you're representing him, but
Yeah.
he has the right to.
He was having problems with listening.
Well.
Michael, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if Carlos, you're referring to questions, I know Angel,
Talk about the question about the hours
right,
and about the incidents that took place in the last couple of weeks.
right,
You just mentioned as far as a couple of days ago.
yeah.
Yeah, with respect to the weekends, we close at 1 o'clock. We close at 11, Monday through Thursday. We pivoted to focus more on celebrations, birthdays, and be more restaurant oriented. We have security here 7 days a week. We definitely try to we try to police the street as much as we can, but at the same token, it's public property, so we can only go so far. But we're definitely receptive to the members of the community and as well as the tenants. And that's just, in respect to working the weekends, we open late, we're open later on the weekends. We don't, we try to just stay within the realms of restaurant.
Okay, thank you. Angel, since we have Mr. Clopton on and he can answer, you had asked a question before about memorializing hours. Could you maybe re-ask that question and see if he could give an answer to that now?
Sure, give me 1 second. My dog's on bananas. Mr. Clopton, hi, my name is Angel Muscat. I'm the district manager for CB11. I had asked earlier, given the explanation by your representative that your establishment has begun to close earlier in recent months, as well as comments by one of the committee members about, shutting down service at 2 o'clock on those nights where your representative explained that you're closing earlier. Would you be willing to memorialize that in an updated stipulation with the community board on those, like the weekday evenings to close at 2 o'clock and the and evenings to close at 4 a.m. Would you be willing to do that?
And the questionnaire.
Mr. Clark?
Pardon? Yes, yes. I'm sorry, I have bad reception. Yes, I would.
Okay, thank you. Angel, do you have anything further?
No, I'll lower my hand.
All right, thank you. All right, so then Peggy, the floor is yours, and then we have the chair of our board, Xavier Santiago, and he'll be after Peggy. So Peggy, go ahead. Peggy, we don't hear you. *6 to unmute yourself if you're on the phone. All right, we'll come back to Peggy because maybe she's having technical difficulties. Xavier, the floor is yours.
Thank you, everyone. I'm traveling at the moment, so I'm on the road. You'll hear some background noise. I appreciate having taken a walk through with the 2-5 and our chair of licenses and permits. I think our greatest concern has been the disturbance, and Adam, it's good to see you here. Thank you for being in the space with us. Under the consideration in the beginning of this year, we did receive a lot of kickback, if you will. And it was mainly because the ad bar was done and it didn't really come before us as it should have done. And that was a problem. This is prior to your time, but just so you have all the information. If everyone can please mute themselves while I speak, because I'm getting a massive amount of echo. Thank you. At the beginning of this year, our board took upon our mission to determine have they been, are they being, or will they be a good community partner and neighbor? Those are the core 3 questions we ask when any business comes before us. If they have not been, are they being now? If they haven't been and are being now, will they be in the future? These are the questions we ask ourselves going forward with the business of the day. What we ask in this sense, and again, we understand what COVID has done to decimate our local businesses. We also understand the restrictions and limitations that are outside of the control of the proprietor at hand. At the end of the day, we still have, this is a residential neighborhood. And I ask Mr. Clopton, and I appreciate you taking us through the space. When we see an application come before us and how it was presented last year, and how it's being presented now, we've seen a change in representation. What reassurances do we have to ensure that the children in the neighborhood who are growing up on these blocks, and I know you know the history about what Petey Thomas wrote about down these mean streets, it's a different neighborhood now. It's one that is where everyone knows each other. How can we be better sewed in to ensure that when a neighbor shows up for an event outside, that they won't be frowned upon? How can we know that things will be maintained in a way to where there won't be 311s, or as in prior years, as you know, and we registered with you, where they're 911s. So I guess that is my question to you as a proprietor. What assurances can you grant to us as a board so that we know we're making the right decision? Because the fallback doesn't come on you, it comes on us.
If I may interject before Michael speaks to that, I think the best parameter of the future is what has transpired in the recent past. And by recent, I mean several months. We understand that there were issues when this first opened, and that's why the owner has taken steps to correct them, including the biggest step, curtailing the hours voluntarily, changing practically his method from a lounge to a food-oriented restaurant. I've lived, as most of you know, on 118 between First and Pleasant for the past 33 years, except brief stint on 119 First and Pleasant, brief stint on 117 First and Pleasant. I guess I can't get away with too far, but I'm back on 118 First and Pleasant again. Has been 7-8 years now. And I know the neighborhood, and I know this place was at some points, you know, late at night, 3 or 4 in the morning, an eyesore. That's not the case anymore. And I think you guys are appreciating that that's not the case. And that's the best barometer of how it will be moving forward. Mr. Michael Clopton is all in, trying to work with the neighborhood and do the best he can to become a good neighbor. And I will be there with him to ensure that that happens.
Okay, Adem, real quick. You know, my dad grew up in the Millbrook projects, Adam, from Aguadilla. And my Pito Calero de Aguadilla used to say, it's a see, don't listen world. So we have had testimony, it's a see, don't listen world. We had testimony today saying that is contradictory to what you've just presented. And I want to see that personally. This is not to be adversarial, it is to be factual. We must you submit, we review, and then we advise. So that's kind of where I look at this holistically. Our district manager asked a question, we appreciate it, but now I'd like to hear from Mr. Kaufman, please, respectfully. I'd like to hear from him, and I do respect him and what he's tried to pour into the business. I want to put that face forward, but again, we're trying to stutter step back into cadence.
Yes.
So please, Mr. Clopton, I'd like to hear from you.
Michael, floor is yours.
Yes, I definitely want to definitely how can I say just really be a commodity to the community. In reference to being here for being receptive to the complaints, I took the initiative to cut the time 11 p.m. pivot completely from nightlife to cutting it back to restaurant style only, and really focusing on that and being receptive to the tenants in the community. I'm here. I definitely would like to be here long term. I definitely want to build a relationship with the community and do the right thing. And I'm always here. So I'm always, you know, if there's any questions, any concerns, I'm definitely always here to address anything that anyone has. And with it, just really want to be here just to you know, make the situation better and to really just try and make new amends with the you know, with the past, and just trying to do right.
Thank you. I yield back the floor, Dem.
Okay, thank you both. Peggy, are you able to speak now? Because I see your hand is still up. Okay. Everybody mute yourself because I'm getting that echo too. Judith, the floor is yours.
Okay, no, Adam keeps saying it's a food-oriented restaurant now, but that kind of, I'm a little confused. Food-oriented restaurant with the disc jockey, karaoke, rock bands, live music, and patron dancing. Is that food-oriented? Sounds more like a club, but it's just me, and I definitely want to see the changes on the stipulation and the questionnaire to the right time that they said what did they say, 2 a.m.? Because it still says 4 a.m. and that to me is, unless I see the change, like I said, it's just my opinion.
Okay, thank you, Judith. Angela?
My issue still is 2 a.m. I agree with what Judith said. That stip must be changed. But
and the
still,
question
2 a.m. during the week, it's obvious that there are children in that neighborhood that then have to get up and go to school. And there's always going to be a level of spillage coming out of a club, people talking, it's the end of the night. If you don't want to do 11, then during the week, I think it should be closed by midnight. Everybody needs to be letting people get ready for work and get the children ready for school. I yield.
Okay, thank you, Angela. Angel, I'm gonna ask you a question, because I usually defer to Marlene for these things, and Khalid, if you can answer it as well, either of you. And Xavier, I'm gonna reference something you said, so if I'm misquoting you, please tell me. But you had said that there was testimony shared tonight, and that in that testimony, there was said that there was evidence of certain things still occurring as recently as a couple weeks ago. And I know that that's been mentioned, but nobody, at least that I know of on this committee, has seen any of that yet, right? So we just have testimony that that was seen. And my question, I guess, is also, what would be the procedure with, if this went to executive and there was time to then see if we could get that evidence, have a better, I guess, understanding of what it is we're looking at. I mean, I'm just trying to understand the process now, because certain things have been thrown out. I feel like now there's information that we don't have all of it in front of us. And so, you know, it's best to make as informed a decision as possible, but at the same time, follow the procedure. So what could we do with that being said, if there is anything?
Was that question to me or Angel first?
No,
'Cause
Xavier, I just referred to that you had mentioned that one of the attendees.
Okay, yes, one of the attendees, I would, if
Right.
that is correct, if what they said, it was as early as this year. I mean, as recent as this year,
Yeah.
this February, I believe it was, hold on a second. Bear with me just a moment. I'm trying to see if the individual is still present in the meeting. I believe it was Miriam.
Yes, I'm still here.
So I would want to see all evidence in that case. If this were the case, and to forward the board, because the 30-day notice, we would have to motion to lay on the table indefinitely to send to executive. And then all materials would need to be sent. This committee should relay that information in its minutes, which obviously you sit on the executive committee, so that we may discuss it at executive. Obviously, you know our preference. There's enough information if this committee wanted to make a determination. I always like to have all the facts before us. That's just me. And so that is what I can offer you. If Angel would like to offer anything to that effect, he's welcome to.
Well, right. And Angel, I think my question for you was just more procedural. I'm not saying that we would do that, but as it's been said, there is evidence we have testimony of, but we haven't seen. And I was asking is this something that we could table, and it wouldn't affect the applicant should the executive committee decide to approve it, where then all that evidence could be presented. Everyone from this committee who isn't on executive would be welcome to, I guess, attend executive, not be able to vote there, but then you would still be able to then have your position at full board and express anything at full board as well. So Angel, is that something that could work?
Certainly. Yeah,
And
so long as we, you know, what we try to do all the time with applications, once we've received the notice, is consider it and turn around a recommendation in a timely fashion. And whether you voted on it tonight or whether you voted on it at executive, so long as, you know, we're still on target for full board to vote on it this month, then the applicant would still be getting the same response within the time that, you know, they would have received it under the normal circumstances versus it going to executive. So yes, you can certainly do that. Okay. That's really your call as a committee this evening, and then a matter of, you know, a question for Xavier to address then at an executive.
Okay, so question, would we have to then make a motion and vote on tabling this to executive if we do decide to go that route?
For the record's sake, that's the best thing.
Okay, so before I even go to that, I assume, Xavier, but I'm going to ask you anyway, that you would be willing, if we decided to add this to this month's executive committee agenda?
Yes, that would be the last agenda item for executive for the month
Okay.
of April. And I would like, if you would be so kind, is to enumerate all of the concerns registered by your committee and collect the evidence from Miriam. And again, we will welcome back Mr. Clopton and Mr. Powell to come attend at executive. It will be the last item of the agenda.
Okay, thank you so much. So now I'm going to ask first of all, I'm going to give Peggy, your hand is still up, one more opportunity to speak. If you're able to unmute yourself. Okay, I guess not. Sorry about that. Please mute yourselves again. I'm getting like, yeah, a lot of echo. All right. So look, it's up to the committee. I think, in my opinion, with all that's been said, it would be best to table this to executive. All of our concerns tonight that were expressed, all our questions, all our comments, that while they already are on the record, they will be relayed ahead of time as well as at the meeting by myself. And then you're all welcome to also attend. And I think you're even allowed to speak at the meeting, and you just won't be able to vote at executive, but as I said, you will be able to vote then at full board. Or we can take a position tonight, but I'm of the mind, as our chair of our board said, that, you know, I think it would be best if we make that decision when we have all the information at hand, and it doesn't seem like we do. There might be some important information that we only have testimony on. So with that being said, all right, I'm going to entertain a motion,
By
but
the way, may I, one
yeah,
last point?
well, yeah, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to give you a chance, Adam, to speak. And I'm
Okay.
seeing another hand now. It says Samsung. Okay, it went down. Never mind. And okay, Peggy wrote something in the chat. She hasn't been able to speak. I'm not going to read it out loud because technically we're not really supposed to use it for the chat, but I understand her putting it in there. I'm bringing everyone's attention to it so that they can take the time to read it if they wish. And then while you're reading that as well, Adam, the floor is yours.
Yeah, no, I was gonna highlight that. Yeah, Peggy apparently has issues, trouble speaking into the mic, but she wrote in the chat. She understands the concerns, but she has personally been there to the location many times, and she appreciates the owner, you know, working with the community, and, you know, she's okay with it. It's the essence of it. But anyhow, I also want to clarify that, again, the owner, going back 6 months, has curtailed the hours. Again, 11 p.m. to walk inside, 11 p.m. on weekdays, 1 a.m. Friday and Saturdays. But I said there could have been a night, 1 or 2 or 3 within those 6 months where the place was open till 4 a.m. So I'm not saying it's never been open till 4 a.m. But I'm just saying that's the exception and not the rule.
Okay, thank you. As to the question of how, okay, there's a question in the chat.
I saw it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's your, I've been careful about not using names if everybody's noticed tonight, but there are names there. I don't know if that is your name or not, but there is a name there already. So if you want to be aware, you're asking if you'll stay anonymous, as I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to maintain anyone's anonymity that wants it. As to how you can send the proof, since I don't want to, like, you can, Angel.
Yeah, it can be emailed to the board office and make their life easier. They can just email it to me.
Okay, could you just, could we write that email in the chat so they have it?
Yes. Yep.
Thank you.
So I can
Okay.
remove it there.
All right, so Angel's gonna post that in the chat. You can send any evidence you want to the email provided. If you have any technical issues sending it, send an email to that email expressing your technical issues, and then maybe another way could be found to send it, but that should address that. Adam, thank you for what you said.
Thank you.
And now Angela, your hand's up, so I'm gonna let Angela speak, and then I'm gonna entertain a motion.
Yes.
Maybe Angela has a motion.
No, I don't have a motion yet, but what I wanted to just let you know, can we clarify the dates we need? So I would suggest if you have anything from December 2022 until now, that's what you should submit.
I'm gonna change that to, I'm gonna say beginning of November. They said the change
Okay.
happened in October, but let's give them till November.
Well, I said December.
They all,
You know what? I'm just gonna keep it like that, so there's no issues. I mean, we heard there was something as far as a week ago, so if that is true, then we don't really need to worry about even further than that. As far as dates,
they also said February, Adam, which is,
right,
yeah.
right, yeah. Well, they're gonna get the Angel already provided his email. They can send anything they have. All right, we're not gonna put restrictions on it. Send what you want to send, and then it will be analyzed as it comes for what it is. With that being said, before we go to a motion for particulars, now this is for everybody, Adam, Mr. Clopton, and in terms of the evidence, the executive meeting will also be via Zoom. It's going to be, and anyone correct me if I'm wrong, it is going to be this month, April 20th at 6:30 p.m. As Angel said, that if this gets approved, this will not delay anything for the applicant because our full board meeting is then on April 25th, which is Tuesday. So it's 5 days after the executive meeting, which is where this, even if we had approved this tonight, it would have been having to be ratified on the 25th. So this doesn't change timelines. All this changes is you will have to attend another meeting. And as far as the submission of evidence, since the meeting is on the 20th, I ask if it's possible, if you submit the evidence by the Monday of that week, so on the 17th, just so we have time. If that's impossible, then just send it before the meeting, but ideally by Monday, April 17th, close of business, whatever, it's an email, so there's no time restrictions. That would be best. This is all if we do vote to table it. I'm just putting it all out there. Now, I'm going to entertain a motion. I think I've expressed, I think we've heard the reasons for tabling this. At the same time, if somebody feels on this committee that they have enough information and wants to make a motion tonight on this, they're welcome to do that. So with that being said, then I'm going to open the floor to a motion from the committee. Angela, the floor is yours.
My current feelings about the situation based upon what happened in April, because that was an extremely contentious meeting and there were many more people. I would motion to deny the application.
I second that.
Okay, so we have a motion to deny by Angela. It's been seconded by Judith. Khalid, if you wouldn't mind taking the roll. Angel, what'd you say?
Cooking.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. Khalid, we have a motion to deny number one, the renewal and the method of operation change. I believe, I can't see it now. That was made by Angela for
Yes.
Lighthouse 112, and it's been seconded by Judith. So if
Got
you
it.
could take the roll now.
Perfect. Give me 1 second to just mark it down. Okay, and then just want to confirm how many members we still have. Okay, I see that Jordan Wright has joined us. So that brings our total to 7 is Wanda Hopkins. Okay, so yes, we have a total of 7 members present. So we need I believe 4 votes in order for it to be considered a motion to pass, okay? Adem Briha?
Abstain.
Carlos Diaz? Carlos? You're muted.
Abstain.
Rosa Diaz?
I abstain. Thank you.
That's it. Angela Donadell?
Deny.
Judith Ferbraro?
Deny.
Eugene Rodriguez?
Abstain.
Jordan Wright?
Abstain.
So we have 5 abstentions, 2 noes. I cannot say that the motion carries. Angel or Xavier, if you're able.
The motion does not carry.
Understood.
Okay, so we don't have a position. Do we have a new motion now? Angela, your hand's still up. Carlos, you got your hand up.
I'll make a motion to be sent to the executive committee.
Okay, is there a second to that motion now by Carlos? Rosa?
I agree with Carlos.
So Rosa seconds it. So there is a motion to send this applicant to executive committee this month. I already have gone over all the details, and that has been seconded by Rosa. Khalid, if you could now take the roll on that motion.
Understood. Adem Briha?
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Angela Donadell. Angela,
Same.
abstain. Judith Ferraro,
Abstain.
okay, understood. Sorry, Eugene Rodriguez,
I abstain.
abstain as well. Jordan Wright.
Jordan.
Hello, Jordan. Jordan, you're muted. Okay, so without Jordan's vote, it's deadlock. Jordan, are you available? I don't know what you guys would like to do from here.
Well, I'm not
Right.
stopping this till we take a position. And I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna question anyone's vote, but we're getting abstentions from people who abstained on the first motion, which was to deny. So maybe somebody wants to make a different motion to approve or something, because I'm a little confused. I feel like both these motions covered all our bases, but we had 2 abstentions, and I'm just doing a counting in my head. We had an extra abstention here. I get the 2 denials on the first one abstained here, but there was another abstention here, and that's what's throwing it off, and we're not getting a position. Xavier, your hand is up.
So to clarify, per the advisement and how we conduct our meetings when it comes to the city charter and Robert's Rules of Order, when you abstain, it will be counted as a no. It's not counted as present as in other bodies. So if you had motioned to deny, if you abstain, it will be calculated as a no. It's not removed from the count. Our quorum, if we have current of 7, you have to have 4 affirmative responses to push the motion forward out of this committee. So if there's a motion to deny, you would have to have 4. If there's a motion to send to executive, you'd have to have 4 affirmative responses. Any of those that abstain would be lumped into the no category. So just again, to advise everyone, because it is a slight departure from the normal status quo of other bodies. So that just to clarify. So if this committee would like to take another position, again, going forward, that is my recommendation. Thank you.
I need just a little clarity on that. So we need 4 yeses or 4 nos, and then the abstentions would go towards that. But 2 yeses and 5 abstentions, as we said, doesn't give us a position.
No, it does not. It just gets
Okay,
counted as
okay.
as a no. Think of it in that way.
Okay, got it. All right. Okay, I'm gonna entertain another motion. Look, I understand the position, the people denying it. At the same time, if we don't take a position tonight, I don't know if that is better for this community or better for this committee, because we're not taking a position to approve anything. We're taking a position to just get more information. And you know, obviously, I'd like to always try to get a position out of this committee. Unfortunately, sometimes that's not possible, and there are extenuating circumstances. Like, for example, tonight, there being testimony to evidence that we haven't seen. And that is why, I just speak for myself, I abstain, because my understanding of an abstention is I can't make a decision because I don't have all the information that I need, right? And so that's why I abstain. I don't know why everybody else voted the way they did. That is your business. You don't need to explain it. But I'd make a motion myself right now, but I don't think I can. So with that being said, does somebody want to make a motion? It can be the same motion. Maybe we'll get a different vote if we make the same motion. Don't be afraid to make a motion that's already been made. We can vote on it again. Or if somebody has a motion, they want to word it differently or offer a different position, we'll entertain that as well. So does anybody want to make a motion? Rosa, thank you.
Of course. The beginning, I actually abstained because I don't like the hours, and I do agree with Angela's reasoning of the hours, because there's schools literally like 2 blocks away. There's a Catholic school, there's a District 4 school, etc. Because I know. I do want to make a motion probably to have more details, change the times to Angela's time, which I do agree, and to bring it to full board, if that's allowed.
You mean to executive, because this is going to full
Executive,
board.
my God.
So basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, you would like to vote again, it was the last motion we just had, but you want to put it out again, that we send this to executive committee.
Yes,
Okay,
with
so
the times that Angela mentioned earlier.
okay, all right. And as I said, I will definitely do that. And I actually implore you all, I know you have schedules, you're not used to attending that night, but it is on Zoom. I would really love for all of my committee members to come there, because I will do my best to convey your thoughts, but you may get new thoughts before then, right? So, and if you can't, send me an email. I emailed you all today. You can reply to that email or send me one by yourself if you want everyone else to see it. And I will share whatever you want if you can't attend at executive. Okay, so Rosa has now made a motion again to send this to executive. And I see Angela's hand up. So Angela, are you seconding that?
Yes, I am seconding the motion.
To send this to executive. All right.
Send it to executive.
Thank you.
With the stipulations that Rosa mentioned.
Yes.
Thank
Okay. Thank you. Khalid, could you take the roll again? Sorry.
No worries. Give me 1 second. Motion by Rosa, seconded by Angela. Okay, members, I'm gonna call your names. Adem Briha.
Yes.
Carlos Diaz.
Yes.
Rosa Diaz.
Yes, thank you.
Angela Donadell.
Yes.
Judith Ferbraro.
To executive.
Eugene Rodriguez.
Abstain.
Jordan Wright.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
now
you. The motion carries.
All right.
You have-
Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Kleppen, we'll see you on Thursday, the 20th, I believe, 6:30 PM. All right.
So
Thank
it's
you.
6:30, not 6.
No, executive 6:30. To be honest, it said that you would be added to the end of that agenda, so you'll probably won't be coming. I can't tell you. I don't know what that agenda looks like. Maybe that could be shared with you in the meantime. You're not going to be seen at 6:30, but to be safe, sign in at 6:30, but don't be expected to be seen. There might be an hour before that or so, but I would sign at 6:30 just to be safe. All right. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. Okay. If we could go back to the agenda, because I don't have any clue what's number 3 at this. Okay, great. Thank you. Number 3, SNG, and thank you everyone who's patiently waited up to this point. We appreciate it. Number 3, SNJT LLC doing business as Solmeyer Restaurant. It's a new application for a wine, beer, and cider license for a restaurant located at 2061 Second Avenue on 106th Street. Is the applicant or a representative for the applicant present? And if you are, please introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your application and your business.
Thank you. My name is Michelle, and I'm the owner of Solmeyer Restaurant. I've been before the board before applying initially for a full liquor license, but unfortunately our application was denied due to a technicality with a nearby school. We now have a letter of support from the school, and we're now applying instead for a beer, wine, and cider license. Nothing has changed with our application since we first applied. Our current business hours are 7 to 6 p.m., but with the license, we intend to stay open later, creating more job opportunities and begin serving dinner plates that showcase Latino culture. We also hope to have mariachi live music on the weekends to serve as entertainment. The doors of the restaurants will be fully closed to help reduce the noise to the neighbors and to the public. And we're hoping to stay open until 11 p.m. Monday through Saturday and closing at 8 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you. I can confirm that they did submit a letter from the school. Thank you, Judith. So this is pretty straightforward. If we could go back to slide 3, just so we have the right I think because we're on number 3, but it says number 4 on the screen, just so there's no confusion. Thank you. All right. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns, committee members, or anybody in the attendees? Judith, okay, I see your hand. Go ahead. You got to unmute your, Judith, you're muted.
Because I have a big mouth dog.
No problem.
Where it says patio or deck or whatever, it says other specify. What is that? Other specify.
To the open restaurant program that's going on.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other questions, comments, concerns? Anyone from the committee? Anyone from the public? Rosa?
If I may ask, which schools are near that you mentioned that you have support from?
Yes, it's the Charter Success Academy located on the corner of 105th Street on 2nd Avenue.
Right.
Okay, thank you. All right, Rosa, do you have any other questions? Okay, Carlos?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, so there's a motion to approve by Carlos. Is there a second? Angela?
I will second Carlos's motion.
All right, so there is a motion to approve Sol Maya's new application for a wine, beer, and cider license for restaurant at 2061 2nd Avenue, and it is seconded by Angela. Khalid, if you could take the roll, please.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. He keeps barking.
It's all right, just mute yourself.
Okay, members, Adem Briha,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz. Carlos,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Yes.
Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Judith Ferraro,
Yes, and I want to thank the person because she got a lot on her petitions.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was very nice. Very good. Thank you.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes.
Jordan Wright.
Yes.
It's unanimous, Chair.
Thank you. All right, good luck. And whenever we can, if we go back to the screen so I could go to number 4. Okay, number 4 is Sushi W Upper East Side LLC. It's a new application for wine, beer, and cider license for a restaurant located at 1513 Lexington Avenue on 98th Street. Is the applicant or representative for the applicant present? If so, please introduce yourself. Tell us about your business and application. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you.
Yes, this is Yongsa Cho. I'm a co-owner together with my wife, Chao Chen. She's also presenting secretary. And now we are running the Sushi W, the affordable omakase sushi restaurant, sushi bar in the Upper West. Right now we are running the first restaurant which was opened in December 2021 on the Broadway between 101 and 102nd Street. We actually started this business to provide, the good quality, the omakase sushi experience to everyone with an affordable price. And as you know, in New York City, there are quite few, high-end sushi restaurants, especially in the Midtown, downtown. Many of them are run by, Japanese chefs trained in Japan. But in the reality, many of them are super expensive. And then I'm from Japan too, and then my wife is from Taiwan, and we know, the real Asian culture there. We wanted to introduce the, omakase sushi bar experience with the affordable manner, with the affordable price. we are offering, omakase sushi restaurant with basic $53 and the premium $68. And we are charging no tip, following Japanese culture. All the the hospitalities are included in the menu price. And so far, luckily, we are getting a lot of the support from our local customers, and also the customer from some anywhere in New York City, and sometimes from overseas. And we believe we're gonna be the big plus for this community to open another Upper East East Harlem location. And also once we open, we try to hire the many local people for the part-timers and also potentially full-time. And some of you might not be familiar with the omakase restaurant, but the omakase restaurant is more like a chef's choice. Trust your chef, and the chef picks the best fish options menu for the day. And we serve the best sushi pieces for our customers. So everything is like prefixed a menu. We have only 2 menu, basic in the premium, and we have only counter seat, 12 seats, and everyone start to dine from same time. We have 5 sessions for dinner, starting from 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 5 sessions, and for lunch we have 2 sessions, 12 and 1 p.m. And now this time we are applying for wine, beer, and cider license, which is exactly the same as a license we have for our Upper West location. And for the music wise, we will just play the the light jazz with a very low volume, as you can imagine, with just a plain vanilla sushi restaurant. We will do nothing more than that. And also our opening hours are from 12 to 2 p.m. for lunch, and for dinner from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's pretty much it. Sorry, we are not good at presentations, but please let us know if you have any other questions.
That was a great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity.
Thank you for being here. Okay, with that said, I looked, I believe they submitted all their documents, but Judith, I see your hand, so go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to know, it says new application and temporary retail permit. Well,
Oh no, sorry. Actually, as far as I know, I work with a lawyer. So that because it might take like the several months for us to get the official license. But at the same time, the New York City introduced a temporary license, which will be approved within 4 to 6 weeks. And then as far as I know, that we can get it for 3 months, and that we can renew for the next 3 months until we get the official license. That's why we check on that.
As far as I know, Judith, that has been an option for people.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
they're because of the backlog and everything. Yeah. Rosa,
Yeah, something like that. Thank you.
you're welcome. Rosa?
Thank you. I just want to make a motion to approve it. Thank
Okay,
you.
great. Thank you. So there's a motion to approve by Rosa. Eugene?
I second.
All right, seconded by Eugene. Sorry, Judith.
It's
Khalid, if you could take the roll.
Yeah, no worries. Give me 1 second.
Take your time.
wow.
Adem Brija,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Yes, thank you.
Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Judith Fabraro,
Yes,
Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Jordan Wright.
Yes.
The motion carries, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, thank you to the applicant. Good luck.
Thank you very much, everyone. We'll do our best.
Thank you. Okay, with that said, we're going to go to number 5, which is Legends Boathouse LLC, new application for a full liquor license for restaurant at 72nd Street at Park Drive. It's in Central Park, I believe. Is the applicant or representative from the applicant present? And if so, could you introduce yourselves and just tell us a little bit about your application business? Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks for the time tonight. My name is Richard Porteous. I represent Legends Hospitality, which we are obviously applying for the application and submitted the application for Low Boathouse, which is on 72, the north drive of the park in the middle of Central Park. Obviously, the location has been we are undergoing extensive renovations and plan to get it open, but the location as of December 31st is closed. So we've been working with the Parks Department and have been awarded the contract for the operations of the premise.
Okay, thank you. Eugene, I see your hand.
A point of information, why are we considering this? Why, what do we have to do with it?
I think when it's in Central Park,
Yeah.
it's covered, it's under our purview because it's.
I asked the same question, Eugene. We've been in front of all the community boards. We were told, directed, speak to all the community boards, anything that touches Central Park. So
We actually notified 6 community boards, and we've presented at 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angel, go ahead, your hand's up.
And I was just going to answer quickly on that question about why it's before us. It's because we share jurisdiction. We've seen that 100 times. But my other question was to the applicant, because we've had a couple of inquiries to the office. I know it's closed. Do you have and I'm sorry if I missed this, do you have an ETA on reopening?
we will be opening the premises in a phased approach. Most likely the cafe, rowboat rentals, and some form of that operation by June 1st. Like I said, we're undergoing extensive renovations in terms of kitchen, HVAC, and roof work. So that's going to determine our time schedule over the next couple of months. But the goal is obviously sometime in the summer to have the whole venue open. But June 1st, in some capacity, we will be operating.
Good to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Eugene, is that a new hand?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the Legends Boathouse license for full liquor license.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Carlos.
Seconded by Carlos. Khalid, whenever you can, please take the roll.
Yes, 1 second. Motion by Eugene, seconded by Carlos, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Adem Brija,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz. Rosa,
Yes, sorry.
Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Judith Ribaro,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes.
Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, motion carries, Chair.
All right. Well, thank you for attending and good luck. We hope you open.
Thank you.
soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you there.
Okay, with that said, we're gonna go to number 6. Some Mint Manages Service Inc. and Tastings Inc. doing business as Tastings. It's a renewal license, renewal application for a full liquor license for a restaurant at 251 East 110th Street and Second Avenue. I don't believe this applicant had any 311s, so they are not required to attend, but is anybody here for this application? Angel, is that a new hand or an old hand?
An old hand.
Sorry. Okay, thank you.
No, then.
All right. They are not required to be here, so it's a renewal. I see Carlos, your hand's up.
A motion to approve.
Okay, thank you. Angela, is that a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. So there's a motion to approve by Carlos, seconded by Angela. Khalid, once again, if you could take the roll. Thank you.
Adem Brija,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Yes, thank you.
Angela Donadell.
Yes.
Angela? Judith Ribaro,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes.
Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, I think that is the liquor license portion for the evening. So we are
Rita.
going to move to street activity permits, which I believe the first one would be is it number 7? I think we got to go back one. Yep, okay. Museum Mile Festival, street event. It's on
Yep.
June 13th, 2023. Setup is 4 p.m. Breakdown is 9 p.m. It's at 2 locations. Fifth Avenue between 79th and East 109th Street, and then location 2 is 109th and 110th Street. I'm not
Mhm.
sure why I couldn't just said 79th till 110th, but okay. And it's a full street closure. Is the applicant present?
Hi, yes, it's Jerry Gallagher at the Museum of the City of New York.
Hi, Jerry. Good to have you. Could you just tell us a little bit about your event?
Sure, this is the 45th Annual Museum Mile Festival. And we closed down Fifth Avenue from the Metropolitan Museum of Art all the way up to the Africa Center. And the event takes place in the evening from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. when the 8 museums up and down Fifth Avenue are open and free to the general public.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments from anybody? There is oh no, that's just Jerry's hand. Okay. Anybody have a question, comment? If not, is there a motion? Rosa?
Yes, I'm doing a motion to approve it, please.
Okay, there is a motion to approve by Rosa. Eugene?
Second.
Seconded by Eugene. Khalid, if you could take the roll, please.
Will do. That was Rosa and then Eugene, correct?
Correct.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm not quick enough.
Adem Brija,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Yes, thank you.
Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Judith Febraro,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes.
Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, motion carries.
Thank you. Good luck, Jerry.
Great, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. All right, so I am going to, if I don't have any objections, I'm gonna group 8 and 9 together, because it is the same applicant, and I think they said they're pressed for time. I think maybe at this point we all are. So I'm gonna read them both out, then I'm gonna let the applicant tell us a little bit about both of them. And then we'll when we make a motion, unless there's a reason we're gonna make a different motion about both of them, then I ask we make one motion either way. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So number 8 is HHFM East Harlem Market Farmers Market, June 15th, 2023. Setup is 7 a.m. Breakdown is 4 p.m. Location is East 104th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues. It's a full street closure. And then number 9 is HHFM Metropolitan Market. It's a farmers market. It's on June 16th, 2023. Setup is 7 a.m. Breakdown is, I'm sorry. Let me go back for a second. So setups is for the first, number 8 is June 15th. Breakdown is November 16th. So there's no confusion. This isn't a one-day thing. It's June 15th. It's going to be 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. The days from all those days in between. That's 8. Then 9 begins June 16th. It ends November 17th. Setup is 7 a.m. Breakdowns 4 p.m. Location for number 9 is 2nd Avenue between East 97th and East 98th Street. And this one is not a full street closure. This one is a sidewalk and a curb lane closure. All right, so Maritza Owens as the applicant, I believe she's present. If you would just tell us a little bit about both of the markets so we could just do this in one shot, hopefully.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Well, as you know, the markets have been there for quite some time. We continue to build, and we actually are getting more vendors. So the markets are doing really well. We were able to survive the 2 years of the pandemic. And we've also incorporated doing some free food distributions at Wagner and Jefferson houses. And so nothing is new. We're still doing the same programs that we've done for the past several years. And we're happy to continue to be there.
Thank you. Angela?
Motion to approve the applicant.
All right, so just so we're for the record, we're approving 8 and 9, correct?
Yeah,
Clarity, yes.
Okay, so Angela's making a motion to approve.
I second.
Okay, I got you, Judith. So Angela makes a motion to approve items 8 and 9, HHFM East Harlem Market and HHFM Metropolitan Market. And that motion has been seconded by Judith. Khalid, if you could take the roll, please.
You got it. Adem Brija,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Yes, thank you.
Angela Donadell. Angela,
Yes, yes.
Judith Ferbraro,
Yes.
Eugene, excuse me, Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes.
Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, motion carries.
All right, thank you. Good luck, Maritza.
Well, I just want to say one last thing. This is my last time you'll be seeing me. I'll be stepping down as CEO, and Perla Vasquez, Program Director, will be the next person you'll be seeing next year for these permits. It's been a pleasure working with all of you, and I wish you all the best.
You too. Thank you. With that said, we are moving to number 10, 2023 Harlem Skyscraper Cycling Classic Street Event, June 18th. Setup is 7 a.m., breakdown 7 p.m. Location is Mount Morris West between West 121st and West 122nd Street. So street closure is a sidewalk and street closure. Is the applicant's Richard Cox. Mr. Cox, are you or a representative on? And if so, I know you've done this many times, but just tell us a little bit about your event. Thank you.
Well, good day, Adam. Good day, everybody. We are humbly back for our 51st year in the community. We are the second longest running professional amateur community cycling event in America. And we're so very happy to be here, and we're going to be here for the next 150 years. So one thing is that, when we file a permit every year, we actually have a total street closure of surrounding the entire Marcus Garvey Park, including that small indentation between 119th and 120th along Fifth Avenue. And we file the same permit every year. We file this, through the portal. And for some reason, when we come up to the board and, we just see it only just one small location. We just want to make sure to record that it's a full closure of the streets surrounding Marcus Garvey Park.
Yeah.
So you're asking for a full street closure, and that's what you've done always. So then when
We've done it for the last 51 years.
Got it. Then for the record, we're going to take a vote on this as a full street. Go ahead.
Isn't this the Father's Day thing that you do, Richard, every year? Yeah.
Yes, it's on Father's Day every year.
Okay. So, well, yeah, 51st time. So full street closure. Yeah, I did notice the sidewalk and street closure seemed a little bit weird wording. So we're going to take the position on this as a full street closure. Okay, that's for the record. Angela, that was an old hand, I think. So Carlos, your hand.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, so you're making a motion to approve this as a full street closure.
I'll second it.
All right, so that's a second by Angela.
You got me, Angela.
A motion to approve the 2023 Harlem Skyscraper Cycling Classic for a full street closure by Carlos and seconded by Angela. Khalid, if you could take the roll.
No problem. And excuse me, Adem Brija.
Yes.
Carlos Diaz.
Yes.
Rosa Diaz.
Yes, thank you.
Angela Donadell.
Yes.
Judith Ferbraro.
Approve.
Eugene Rodriguez.
Yes.
Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, motion carries.
Okay, good luck, Mr. Cox. And with that said, we're going
We
to
will
move-
see you next year at year 52.
looking forward to it. Thank you. Angel, is that I see your hand?
Yeah, just two quick things. So on the two farmers markets events, just so it's clear to everyone, I know it was approved and rightfully so, but those are weekly events, not daily events, and that will be indicated on our support that's submitted to SAPO. And then on the skyscraper event, it was noted that way, the sidewalk and street closure, because that is what was indicated on the application. just for clarity's sake. And we can make that change to the full street closure as supported by the committee, but just clarifying that it was indicated this way on the agenda because that is what was indicated on the application submitted by the applicant.
Thank you for that.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, with that said, we're gonna go to, I believe this is our final street activity permit for the night, number 11, Family Day Block Party, August 4th, 2023. Setup is 8:30 a.m., breakdown is 4 p.m. Location is East 127th Street between 3rd and Lexington Avenue. It's a full street closure. Diane Spahn is the applicant. Angel, is that an old hand, new hand? I'm like looking up and down, I'm not sure.
Old.
Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, Diane, are you present? And if so, just-
I am.
Okay,
I am present.
the floor is yours.
Excuse me, walking up the steps. We would like to have a permit granted to be able to have our annual family day. It's for the Head Start children. They are between the ages of 3 and 5. Their families come. We invite the community to come as well. We usually have plenty of attendees that come from the Alice Carnegie Senior House right next door. We have a lot of families that are from AK houses, 1775. They all come and are all welcome. And MS, anybody that's in the immediate area usually is there to food. We have fun and a wonderful time is had by all. We get out right here, sir. We get out and we set up and we serve to anybody who would like to have food, and we break down at the end of the day. We invite the children who are in attendance at school, because it's not that many that are in attendance in August, but whoever's coming, whoever's in session is usually welcome to come, as long as they have somebody to bring them over.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Do we have any questions, comments? If not, is there a motion?
I motion to approve.
Okay, there's a motion to approve by Judith. Eugene, is that a second?
That's a second.
Seconded by
Hope to see y'all
Eugene.
there,
Khalid?
too.
Thank you. Khalid, could you take the roll?
Hello?
Hi.
No problem. Adem Briha,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Yes, thank you.
Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Judith, Judith Ferbraro,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes.
Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you kindly, everybody.
Thank you. Okay.
Angela, love your hair.
Yeah, it is very nice.
Thank you.
If we could get back to the screen, because I'm actually not sure if I want to make sure I'm on the same page as what's next. Okay, that's correct. So, all right.
Prime.
All right, so old business Boca Prime. So I'm gonna give a little bit of a summary about events that happened. We had a meeting basically after we voted on this on full board. The owner came. He attended the board office with actually Peggy Morales, who wasn't able to speak tonight, but we did see her leave a comment or a couple of comments in our chat. And basically it was myself, our chair Xavier Santiago, and our district manager Angel Muscane. And then present was Julio Goris and Peggy Morales. And basically the meeting was predominantly about the hookah, right? So when we voted last month, I believe, we ended up approving it with conditions and all that. And one of the conditions was no hookah, right? Now, as a board, we really don't have the ability to grant or deny or anything hookah licenses. As far as I know, nobody's really doing that right now. It's kind of whatever, I don't know, a free for all, or they're just not monitoring it, right? People are doing it and it doesn't seem to be a problem. The city isn't really cracking down on it. And the applicant expressed to us that they felt that this was an important part of their business. And they wanted to come back to the committee and there were suggestions made by us because if I didn't think that there was a conversation to have here, or if our chair or district manager, we agreed it was a conversation worth having. At least in our small group meeting, there was the idea that if we were to be okay with hookah, it would really just be like the board. It's a good faith thing. Like we're saying we're okay with it. It would be under, we felt in that meeting, we'll have them present and then you could ask your questions and, have your own feelings, was that if we were to be okay with it, we would be okay with it under a couple of conditions. One, that they would make it very clear that hookah is offered at this establishment, because I believe we had our own members say that they went there and they were surprised. And this is the problem that we were seeing is, you go there with some kids and this and that, and you start to eat your meal, you don't realize, and then all of a sudden the table next to you is doing hookah, right? You should be able to make that decision before you sit down and start eating, whether you want to go in or not. So we thought there should be a prominently posted sign that says like that they offer hookah, right? On top of that, we also thought that there should be restrictions on the times that that hookah is offered, right? So what those times are, we didn't really, that's going to be up to this committee if we decide to go forward with that. But we did feel that it wasn't necessarily something that should be offered during all hours of operation, maybe at nighttime or, weekends, or maybe all week, but after say 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. So it was a good conversation. They came, they were grateful for the board's, ability to kind of go over this application last month, but they feel that this is an essential part of their business. It's important to them. There have been a lot of challenges with COVID, which we all know it's forced a lot of us to pivot our lives, pivot our businesses. And, while it's not as prevalent of an issue now, the effects of it are still impacting all of us in different ways. So with that said, I'm going to give the floor to, if the applicant is here, Mr. Goris, or anybody representative from them to speak to this, if they would like to, and then, we can go from there. Okay, so Peggy, I know you were there, and I also see a hand from Liz Guzman. I'm not sure who's actually speaking for the Prime 116 in regards to this. And then I see
Adem, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Peggy. I see two other hands up. So one says
This is Julio
Samsung.
Gómez. This is
Okay.
Julio Gómez.
All right, that's so Julio is on, if you see Samsung SM, that's Julio. All right, so the floor is yours. I hope I accurately conveyed the gist of our conversation and why you're here. So go ahead. Thank you.
Can say any better than what you have. I'm going to start the conversation. I'm going to introduce the manager who's aware of the whole situation. Thank you for the conversation we have. Xavier, thank you very much for receiving us on the meeting. Thank you for the board also to be a little bit lenient of what we're doing. And also thank you for giving us the opportunity to present the issues that we confront within the community. All due said, I'm going to introduce Liz Guzman, who's my manager, and she's the one who normally there at the restaurant. So Liz, I'll give you the floor. So can you explain the board what we're going through and how can that benefit us if we implement it? Liz?
Hello, can you hear me, guys? Good evening, everyone. My name is Liz. Thank you so much for the opportunity to present to you guys. I haven't been able to be in front of you all. I have met a few, and that has been quite delightful. Carlos, and I'm working along with Peggy as well. They have come and visit us to understand our dynamic and our business. I've been behind the operations since July 2021, after COVID. And it has been a challenge time to say, but we have been able to connect with many people from the community, especially the 25 and over crowd, very well. And even though we are facing the struggles of today's economy, we are pulling it through, and we would like to be around, and we would like to be able to become a better place for the community itself. But there are certain things that will prevent us doing so, and that will be the hookah itself, since you guys mentioned that. The hookah pays for a lot of our operations, especially our promotion team, which our promotion teams are people from the community itself that host the event nights that we have at the venue. I'm here to pretty much speak about our method of operation. I am one-on-one there in the business with the customers, with the promotion team, and with my staff. It has been brought up to my attention that there has been things that have not been quite well transpired. So I am also here to answer any questions and be of help so you guys can understand how we operate.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, regarding the hookah itself, we are at 25 and over space after 8 p.m. We have noticed that has changed how our people see us, and I'll say most of the older 25 and over people don't want to be where the kids are at, to say. And that also has prevented us from never having a 311 call since we have the operations July 2021. We also have a designated indoor area, which is hookah free until the business is pretty much full. That's when, the entire business becomes available for hookah. For those reasons, we are not that venue where the moms take the kids after school. We are the venue where the people come to have a drink for happy hour after work. We do want to cater everyone. We have a full kitchen that operates all night because we also have Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub. We are servicing as a full restaurant, but we do cater to those after hours people that live work. And that's why we want to change our method of operations and our liquor license.
Okay, thank you. Before I go to the committee or the attendees, does the owner, Mr. Goris, anybody want to share anything before I entertain questions, comments? Okay.
Peggy, if you may, I'd like for you to make some comments, being that you always been through thick and thin with this and the situation that we are in. One of the things that Liz didn't mention is that the burden that we have if we eliminated completely the hookah on the rent, on the taxes. Like she mentioned before, that helps us pay some of the promoters and the people that work at the restaurant. And also, I know she mentioned that those people are from the neighborhood. So I wanted to extend that situation.
Overhead. Punto. Hi, good evening, everyone. So on behalf of Boca Prime, I've asked to speak this evening. I want to thank you all for your time. I'll be very brief with my comments. But one of the things that's very important to note about Boca Prime, and it's something that I discussed with Mr. Julio Goris as well as with Liz Guzman, which is his manager, is that their business model is that of a bar lounge. And while they are okay with that business model, it absolutely impacts their overhead and their bottom line if they're not able to service their demographic clientele, which is what makes up their patronage in large part, which demands that they provide hookah. It's one of the things that sort of goes hand in hand with their business model. Now, I can certainly understand the concern that has been expressed by at least one person that I know I've heard from that was there and experienced sitting there with her children and having that steam or smoke coming into the atmosphere where you're sitting down with your family eating a meal. One of the things that I did was, in order to fully understand and embrace what it was that the Hookah Prime model actually offers, I went to pay it a visit. I needed to see what it is, how it's set up. I hadn't been there in many years, and I got to fully understand on a different scale what it is that they're set up to do. one of the recommendations that I made to Mr. Goris was set up a space that's segregated, that's designated specifically for families when they come from one time from opening till 8 p.m. Let's just say hypothetically, from 4 p.m. when you open to 8 o'clock p.m., segregate an area where there is absolutely no hookah, where hookah steam or smoke cannot enter that area. And one of the things that they were able to do in response to my recommendation was to establish a separate entrance and exit to that area that's going to be designated for families to consume their meals if they'd like to between the hours of 4 and 8 p.m. The other thing I suggested was to conspicuously post the offering so that people who do want to eat there understand that that is part of what they offer as a bar, lounge, restaurant, so that whoever comes there understands this is what you should expect after 8 p.m. So I'm throwing that out there hypothetically. And that way everyone understands this is what this is the business model, this is the demographic that they cater to. Yes, families are more than welcome to eat here between the hours of 4 and 8 p.m. Expect that if you come after 8 p.m., we will be offering hookah to our patrons, because that is what ultimately pays for our overhead and the bottom line. As far as everything else that's been discussed regarding Boca Prime, I think all of the other issues have been pretty much resolved. This was still one of those little sticking points that I felt needed more attention. And so I went to pay a visit to the restaurant, as I stated, and I sat down with the team to see what, if anything, could be done in order to accommodate the needs of everyone involved and still remain a good business partner, remain a good community partner, and also be a good community partner to the members of the community board, because your input is vital. It is relevant and it matters. So that's what I'd like to share with you. And that was my experience. And I hope that, that gives you insight into what we're trying to do moving forward. Thank you for your time and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Peggy. All right, committee. I think you've heard from me, you've heard from them. You have questions, comments. I mean, I think there is an ask tonight that the board, they would like the board to, be okay with the hookah, but the terms of that, I guess, or if we are or not, that's up to us. So I haven't heard anybody speak from the committee. I don't see any hands. If anybody from the committee or public wants to say something, go ahead. Rosa?
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Adam. So I wanted to also make a comment. When I went there with my family, it was a beautiful environment. The food was amazing. The only shocking surprise that I had probably like around 5 p.m. was the hookah without me even noticing any sign or anything at all. There was no warning, like, oh, just in case, hookah is gonna start in like 10 minutes. That was from 1 second to another that I saw all the smoke. But if that is resolved, then I am okay, because I do like to come back. Other than that, that would be my only inconvenience, the smoke. Thank you.
Rosa, we would love to have you back. We would love to have you back, and we do have an indoor-outdoor space that you're gonna love. We put flowers and lights, and you're gonna enjoy it with your family for sure. It has its own entrance and exit, so you don't even have to go inside unless you have to use the bathroom. Then you might be exposed to the smoke. Just then.
Okay, thank you. Eugene, then Carlos.
Thank you, Chairman Adam. It is hard enough to do business in East Harlem without the community board taking away somebody's stream of income. So I think maybe an 8 o'clock restriction would be reasonable, but I have a whole problem with restricting these people on how they can do business, especially when we were talking about hookah. I thought we were talking about them smoking marijuana in the bar. And I come to find out it's tobacco.
No.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I don't think that should be a whole big deal that we're gonna deny this guy's a liquor license to do. And I think 8 o'clock is a reasonable compromise.
Okay.
So I would put in a motion to that effect.
Okay, I will entertain a motion, but we still have a couple hands up. So Carlos and then Angela.
I just want to say that I think it's a great idea, number one, and number two, I'm very happy to hear that the chairman and the chairman of the community planning board had an opportunity to go there and see and speak to them and see a different eyes of those who have never been there. I have been there, and I think it's a pretty big place where you can separate, the hookah smokers and the people that are going to go for dining. So I'm definitely in support of the project.
Okay, thank you, Carlos. Angela?
I would like clarity on what she's saying. What's an indoor-outdoor space?
We have an extended canopy. You could see it from outside, and it has its own heating space. We have tables there. We created like a small little garden, look like, but it's outside on the sidewalk to say.
I don't know. I understand that. But when you brought up the fact that if Rosa was there with her children, they would then still have to go inside the club to take children to the bathroom. And I understand it may not be all the time, but doesn't it make more sense to put the hookah people in the indoor-outdoor part until 8 o'clock, and then they can go inside the restaurant when you know that the families are not there?
Absolutely, Angela. If my public will be mainly families, it will be absolutely the way to go. But I will say in a week, I probably sell about 3 kids' meals on my sales reports. I will welcome kids,
Not just kids though. There are people that have asthma that want to eat in the restaurant that are adults and they can't sit in the restaurant. And you have seniors. So I'm just gonna say that there are people that may have to use the bathroom more than others. So they'll be inconvenienced because the smoke is where the bathroom is. I think, and it would make sense to put the smoke outside. And since it's not marijuana, it should not be affecting people who are out in the air and it's closed in. And then they can have their separate entry. Then at 8 o'clock, people can go into the restaurant. You're on your own once that mark hits. But it just seems to me that it's a little backwards.
Okay, but we stated that, and I'm sorry to interrupt, and thank you for your comments, but we stated that we're not gonna serve hookah until 8 o'clock. So between we open to 8 o'clock, before that, we're not gonna use hookah. The hookah is gonna start working on 8 o'clock. That's what we stated before.
Okay, well, no, that clears it up because that is more clear because what was being said, I think, by your manager was that hookah would be still happening from 4 to 8, but it would be segregated from other people. So that's if it's just going to start at 8 o'clock, then I think there's no issue here. 7 days a week after 8 o'clock, but no hookah before 8 o'clock anywhere. I think that, and I think even in our meeting, that was what we were kind of agreeing on. So if you're okay with that, and it sounds to me, Carlos, you expressed that was good, okay with you. Angela, you seem okay with that now. So I'm gonna ask whoever makes this motion.
Anim, I want to speak also because again, we're in the business to become profitable. Like I said to you, I have very little families walking in. And I don't want to be the person saying at 7 o'clock, no, you can't, come after. We have a happy hour and our happy hour ends at 7. There will be people that would like to have their hookah with their meals. I will do a better job. I do have security all the time communicating, but we do have that area as of right now, secluded.
But I'm sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you because I'm confused. You're the manager and the owner just said it would start after 8 o'clock. So
yes, but I'm also presenting this because I'm also working, I also have my promotion team here on the call. They're also interested because of
no, I understand that, but so who is making this decision for your business? So we know where we stand. Is it Mr. Goris, the owner, or is it
Julio? No, Julio is doing 100% of the decisions.
So he said after 8 o'clock, and now you're saying something different. So
no, I'm asking on behalf of the business, because I have the promotion team also on this call. If I do this steps of segregating the area, because that affects also their bottom line. That means now they start working at 8 o'clock instead of working earlier. I would like to know what can I do to sustain that happy hour business with them.
What time does the happy hour start?
4 o'clock, and it ends at 8.
So, and you open at 4. So I want to be clear. You want basically the hookah at all times, but 4 to 8 segregated, and then after 8 everywhere, 7 days a week. Is that correct? Just so we
And
know.
publicly posted as well, so our community is very fully aware of it.
And when was its big? Because now, when was this publicly posted? Was it publicly posted recently? Because Rosa went and didn't know that it was happening, so it wasn't. Is that a new thing?
That's a new thing, correct.
Okay,
After you
all right.
guys exposed to us your concerns, we try to
Okay.
make all the adjustments as possible. Yes.
Okay, well, so your ask is that, which is, okay, Angela, committee, I don't know how you guys feel about that, you know, it's up to you. If we can have a discussion, a conversation, anyone want to make comments, questions, concerns, or I'll entertain a motion even. We can take a vote, because we know their position, what they're asking for. Eugene, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to accept or support their liquor license with the
No,
condition. With
this isn't for the liquor license. This is just,
the hookah. It
yeah,
says
it's the
full
hookah.
liquor license.
I know. Is this really a method of operation? I don't know. Okay, go ahead, because I'm a little bit confused at how this is being presented as a method of operation change, because,
I'm totally confused.
yeah, I guess it is technically. Go ahead, Eugene. Keep
Well,
going.
My motion is to approve the application that Prime One is making for their liquor license with the
What is
condition
the application?
that hookah is after 8 o'clock.
Okay. So you're saying hookah only after 8 o'clock?
Yeah, which is what the owner said he would do.
Correct.
Okay, that's the motion. So it's only hookah after 8 o'clock. You're motioning to approve that method of operation change for this business. Hookah after 8 o'clock, 7 days a week. Okay, is there, Judith, it's a method of operation change to their
I
liquor
know.
license. So that
I
is
know.
what it is.
I was just
So they have a
thinking-
liquor license. They came, they got, and this is another, so we said no hookah. Now we're gonna let hookah. So technically it is a method of operation change. And as far as in our purview, if we say okay to hookah, that's another business service they're offering, which changes their operations. Okay. Carlos?
I like to second that.
All right, so there's a motion to approve the method of operation change for Boca Prime to sell hookah after 8 p.m. and only after 8 p.m., 7 days a week. That was made by Eugene, is seconded by Carlos. Khalid, if you could take the roll.
Go through this again, all right?
Adim Briha,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Yes, thank you.
Angela Donadell,
Yes, with the stipulation as is stated just now.
Judith Ferraro,
Yes,
Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes,
Jordan Wright.
Yes.
all right.
Unanimous, the motion carries.
All right, and I'm gonna just state this for record, so we're all clear before we leave. This was not a motion to approve segregated starting at 4 p.m. This was a motion, as Eugene stated, and I asked him to be clear. And I just asked him what he wants to say. He said 8 p.m., 7 days a week, so that there's no confusion moving forward. That is the position of this committee. With that said, we are gonna now thank you, Mr. Goris. Thank you, Ms. Guzman. Thank you, Ms. Morales. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Based
Thank you,
that
everyone.
somebody brought it up. I don't know if you guys know, and I'm not trying to say that, but I want you guys know that the NBA approved smoking of weed next year at the game. So you guys know.
Thank you for that. All right, we're gonna go to number 13. It's new business. This is El Barrios Art Space PS 109. Temporary permit application for a wine, beer, and cider license for a monthly salsa social held at 215 East 99th Street. This applicant is seeking a letter of no objection at the direction of the New York State Liquor Authority. Is the applicant present? This is a little bit different than our normal thing. So tell us about your business. I believe you've done this before, but tell us that and tell us exactly what you're asking this committee for, because it has been a long night for all of us. Thank you.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Does everyone hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Does everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Emmanuel Hernandez. I am a resident at El Barrio Art Space, PS 109. I'll keep it really brief. I've been doing these salsa events for over 8 years. It's been quite successful. We are limited from the SLA 4 permits for per year for one location. So I received a deficiency letter and they stated that it would be helpful if we would get a letter of support from the community board, which will also extend the courtesy of allowing us to purchase additional permits for the rest of the year. Only if I can provide this letter each time I apply for these temporary wine, beer, and cider licenses. But yes, and so again, I've been doing it for 8 years. And during the operation, we've never gotten any 911 calls, nor has anyone ever placed a noise complaint. All of the events are from 5 to 10 p.m. and it's only every first Friday of the month. And hello? Oh, okay. Our attendees are mainly mature members of the community who look forward to the social engagement every month. And I think that's basically, I'm trying to keep it as quick and short as possible. So if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Carlos, Eugene, then Rosa.
I think Eugene's hand was ahead of mine, so I'll yield to Eugene and then.
Okay, I'm only going in the order here. It looked like you're first, but Eugene, the floor is yours.
Eugene?
Well, the only concern I had was what day of the month they were doing, which they answered, but I think they should make it clear in the application that it's the first Friday of every month.
Yes, it's a monthly salsa social, which is every first Friday of the month.
Yeah, I think you should outline that in your application that you put to us. So the temporary permit for a monthly or for a first Friday of every month salsa social, something like that.
Oh, okay. Is this the application that I have to fill out to send to you? Because I wasn't I didn't receive any application to fill. I just reached out through email.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, to be honest myself. There's no paperwork as I see in the Airtable. But this isn't something you're just asking for us to support this letter of no objection.
Correct.
Hi, I hope Angel is still available to try to clarify, but it would be the intention that this, Angel, are you here?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. I'll see.
Yeah, so we can indicate in our recommendation to the SLA, the specifics that Eugene was referring to, that it's a monthly first Friday and the name of the event.
Yes.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay, thank you, Angel. Thank you, Eugene. All right, Carlos, then Rosa.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, before that, then Rosa and Carlos, the motion will be yours to make, but Rosa, go ahead.
No problem. Go right ahead.
I do have a couple of questions. Is this school a DOE school, and who is paying for the permit of after school usage?
It is not a school, it's a residency for artists. I am an artist, I'm a choreographer, dancer. I've been in the building for 8 years as a resident. And I've been activating the spaces and that's been we can utilize for ourselves. And I utilize the gallery space for the monthly salsa socials.
Because it
So-
says PS 109, so that's
Yeah,
like
it was a
public
former
school.
school.
Yeah, let me
180.
jump in here to help you out. Because this is always has been an exciting project. So it is a former public school that was decommissioned and was subsequently redeveloped as live work housing for artists, and it has several performance spaces and gallery spaces on the property. I recommend everyone get plugged into PS 109. There's so much good stuff that happens there.
Yes.
So yes, I hope that was helpful for you, Rosa. They
Thank
did a nice job with the renovation.
Yes, because I was actually having a heart attack.
No, it's not a school. It's been an
Oh,
empty.
no, it's,
Yeah, I think college used to hang out there back in the day, but not anymore.
I did.
All right,
Yes, thank you.
thank you,
Let's go hang
Angel.
out.
Rosa, you have any other questions? Nope, okay, your hand's down. All right, so we got Eugene and then Xavier.
Yeah, PS 109 also has a theater, which we produced a show in already. The reason I asked for clarification on when they hold it, because I want to go to them. And they
oh,
never
please,
tell
yes,
anybody
and you
when
can
they
please
are.
come. It's this
Now
Saturday.
I know it's the first Friday, and if you write it down, an old guy like me could probably remember.
No, absolutely. It's actually this Saturday because of Good Friday, which is this is like kind of like a timely matter, because I have to give this this letter of approval over to the SLA before Saturday, and they're off on weekends, so I wouldn't be able to get the license if I don't get it in. But it is this Saturday. We had to move it because Good Friday because there is a more mature crowd, as I stated. So they kind of believe in, I mean, their beliefs and the religious beliefs, they don't want to party on a Good Friday. So I kind of moved it to a Saturday.
What
But
time
every
is it?
after
What
this,
time does it start on Saturday?
it's from 5 to 10 p.m. And please let me know if any of you guys would like to join, and I'll put your name at the door. And
I'll be
got you
going.
guys. But
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Awesome.
We'll be going.
Okay,
Charlie,
awesome.
save the first dance for me, Charlie.
Jay, you better leave Saturday so you can get there Sunday. I mean, Friday so you can get there Saturday.
All right, thank you. Rosa, Xavier, your hand went down, so maybe that was accident. Rosa, last
Yeah,
question.
yeah, real quick, I just want to say this is something we did support last year historically and have, and it's one
Yes,
of the variances.
Xavier, thank you so much.
Yeah, so this is just something that is a variance because of the requirements of the SLA. Angel, thank you for opining and saying, it is a phenomenal experience at the art space and how we try to activate this decommissioned school. But again, it's a lot of great things emanate from that location. So we appreciate everyone being here. So just a little bit additional background. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Rosa, last comment or question, then we'll, Carlos, I'll entertain your motion.
Thank you, and I will second it also. But maybe like a change of title of PS 108 to 109 to something else. And I have attended the art space. That's why I was having a heart attack. Thank you, and I will second Carlos's motion. Thank you.
All right, so Carlos, make the motion, please.
I make a motion to accept them receiving the letter from the Community Planning Board in support of it.
Okay, so motion by Carlos. Rosa, you are seconding it. Khalid, if you could take the roll.
Adam Brija,
Yes.
Carlos Diaz,
Yes.
Rosa Diaz,
Yes, thank you.
Angela Donadell,
Yes.
Judith Ferbraro,
Yes.
Eugene Rodriguez,
Yes, and I'll be there Friday, Saturday.
Awesome.
Jordan Wright.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, motion carries.
All right, thank you. Good luck. I don't know if there's anything else, but can we go back to the slide just so I can make sure?
Nothing else.
Okay, yeah, that vote was roll call, so we don't need to do that. So next slide, please.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right, good night, everybody.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Have a good weekend, and I see you at the party Saturday.
I'll be looking for you, Eugene.
Angela, you got that white hair. You better, I like women with white hair.
Oh
my gosh.
Have a good night, everybody.
I don't know if it'll be white on Saturday, though.
Why? I'm in the meeting.
Oh, good night, everybody.
Have a good night, everybody. Bye.